Miss Liz Scheidegg. Who is Liz Scheidegg? Liz is going to talk to us about the advantages of using Facebook, advantages for realtors of using Facebook, and how to use Facebook. So Liz?
All right.
We ready for it?
We are going to start out with, so there's a couple different ways to use Facebook, right? Has everybody, I know most of you, but for those that I don't know, do you have a Facebook account? Yeah, okay. Do you have a personal page?
Yes.
Do you have a business page?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the differences between the two and the pros and cons in using each one for your business, okay? This is focused at business. This isn't focused at your old college roommates or anything like that, okay? So there's the two different ways to use Facebook, right? You've got your personal page, so you've got your personal page, which looks kind of like this. It's just your basic information. This is my pretend page. This is Bertha McFluffy Pants. If you've ever been in one of my training classes, you know that's my pretend person. So I created her a Facebook page the other day for this class so that we could see it without getting bogged down in actual stuff from someone's page. So you've got your timeline, and this is anybody that you're friends with shows up in your page, in your news feed as you go. This is where you can do a video, you can post a picture, you can talk about things, you can share your blog post, anything like that, right? Then you've got your business page, and that's going to look something like this. This is the Age and Own business page. And this is a little more tailored to business-specific things. It's less who you're friends with and more who is seeking out you to engage with you. There are pros and cons to doing it both ways. It boils down to your level of comfort with technology, with how Facebook does things and how often they change how they do things, because I'm going to tell you all this stuff today and tomorrow something's going to change. And that's just how they are. And there's nothing that can be done for it. It's also going to have to do with how comfortable you are having your personal information out there. So some people use their personal page, right? And they don't really put pictures of their kids' birthday parties or, you know, what they ate for dinner last night, stuff that you always see on Facebook. That's just not what they do on Facebook. They use this as their business. It's their way to contact other people. Other people use the business page the same way. It's just a little bit different. So let's go through basic differences, okay? When you have a personal page, you're friends with someone. So you request them to be your friend and they say yes. It's a two-way street. You get to see what they're doing, they get to see what you're doing, okay? Business page is not a two-way street. They say, I like you, and you have nothing to do with it. You don't have to approve their like. They can like you and they can see anything you post, and depending on their settings, you may never see anything that they do. So they're sort of anonymous to you a lot of times, okay? Some people, that doesn't bother. Again, this is going to be a personal thing, which side of the barrel you sort of end up on, okay? One thing that no matter which side of the barrel you end on, I don't know how barrels ended up with sides today, but they did. It's something that you want to do to build your audience. So whether it's on a personal page, you're building your friends, or on a business page, you're building the people that have liked you, okay? This is who you're going to touch with your information. Whether you call them a like or a friend, it's the same thing. They're getting your information that you put out there. You want to have that number high, right? The only way you can get your name out there is to have more people like you. The more people that like you, share you, their friends share you, you end up with a new person in Wisconsin that you've never heard of because of 6 different people it went through, and now they like you and they're moving down here, and ta-da, you're their realtor. That's the goal here, right? So one of the basic things you can do is, even if you've just set up your Facebook page this morning and you've never even used it, go to known pages like NAR, Realtor.com, your local towns, town of Mount Pleasant, town of Charleston, town of Somerville, wherever you are. Go and like their pages, request to become a part of their group. Some of these that I'm mentioning are closed groups, meaning, for example, NAR, you have to be a realtor. They don't let everybody in the world on. You have to be a realtor. So you request access to their group. They approve you as a realtor. They look you up and approve you. they have great information, great forums, great conversations that happen on those sites, and it can be a place where people find you, maybe looking for a realtor from another location. They might find you on there. You never know. You never know the information you're going to get. A few others are your subdivisions. We talk in leads class a lot about doing subdivisions and having areas that are your neighborhoods. Go and see if Hamlin Plantation has a page that their HOA runs or something. A lot of these places do. Join those pages. That's a great wealth of information on that area. It's also a great way to have your name associated with an area, okay? A couple that are good for support, Facebook support. One is called Raise the Bar, and one is called Tech Support Group for Real Estate Agents, which is super helpful. So I printed them out for you. Go through wherever you're comfortable with feeling like you're a part of that group, part of that community, whether it's your church or whatever, and request those friends, like those pages. That's a way to sort of build your base at the very beginning, okay? We're with me so far?
Yes.
All right.
Except those communities won't let you join unless you live there, like Hamlin HOA live there.
But if you can contact them and say, look, I am working on a subdivision profile page, they may let you in. You never know. You may have a friend that lives there and they may scoot you in on the side. You never know. You got to go and try.
I tried. I'm going to try. I wrote a letter.
So part of what I want you guys to think about when you're using Facebook is this great article. If you've got this magazine, this article is in here. I highly suggest reading it. Dr. Boyd brought it to me like half an hour ago, and I promptly sat down and read it. Facebook is the most popular platform in social media. 91% of people use Facebook. 91%. So if they're buying or selling, they're on Facebook. I mean, really, unless they live under a rock, they're on Facebook. So I would recommend being on Facebook. When you are choosing whether to do a personal profile page or a business page, part of the key factor I said should be your comfort level. Should also take into consideration how much time you want to spend on this, okay? Are you somebody who loves to post and you're going to be on here every day and you're really going to be engaging everybody? Then maybe a business page. If you have a group, Neil, maybe a business page, because then you can have more than one person posting on it and sort of playing in the same sandbox. If you are not going to do that, if you're going to maybe do a blog post, share it to Facebook, maybe one or two other things a week, then really a personal page is all you need. Now, you're saying, I already have a personal page. I don't really want everybody seeing my kids or my grandkids or my dog or whatever. Why not create a separate one just for you as a real estate agent? It eliminates the extra stuff that goes along with having an actual business page, because there are extra things that if you're not going to use them are a waste of time and energy to try to keep up with them. So if you have just like I created Bertha, you can create Ute Appleby Realtor. You know, Whitley Boyd sells Charleston. It doesn't have to be the same name that you have, and you want it to be your professional name. So then this turns into your professional page. Part of the reason I'm suggesting a separate page is we're going to talk about security settings, okay? Your privacy settings.
One thing about along those lines is make sure that when you're setting up the name that you don't use real estate realtor. I know legally right now individuals can get by with that, but I do think that it's coming down the road that LLR is going to change that.
Yeah, okay.
So I will get that built and then have to undo it. So.
Yeah, you want to pick a name and stick with it. Don't go changing every 3 weeks to see if one fits better. Pick your name and stick with it, because in 3 weeks when you change it, you've alienated these people who are already following you. You may have gotten 3 new people, but these 6 people that were already following you are like, what's going on? So pick your name and just ride it out, okay? This is not a return on investment tomorrow. This is you're building over time, okay?
So one's called a page, and the other one is called a who?
It's just your profile, just your regular everyday. Okay, so let's look at settings on a business page, okay? You click up here on settings. You've got all sorts of stuff that you can work on here. And we're not going to go through every single one because most of them are pretty self-explanatory for what they want, what they are talking about, and what they mean. Things we are going to talk about are, what's that? We're not going to talk about profanity. No.
It's got a profanity filter. I didn't even know it.
It does, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You can make it so that certain words are not allowed to appear on your page. So if someone goes to post on your page, if they are a dirty, dirty mouth, they're not allowed to. And you can pick the words. So it can be that some's okay and some's not. Totally your call. Keep in mind, if you allow it on your page, that's what the people who have said, yes, I choose to associate myself with you are going to see. Okay? So let's just talk a little bit. Page visibility. You need to have your page published. This happens automatically when you create it. But if you ever have somebody who says, I haven't seen anything in a long time. Again, Facebook changes stuff all the time. And sometimes little things get triggered and all of a sudden your page is invisible and nobody knows why and nobody knows how it happened. So this is someplace where you could go and double check, okay? Your page verification, clearly you don't need to worry about it. This is a matter of authenticating your website that you have associated along with your email and everything, but your page is still out there. It doesn't affect anything that you need to worry about, okay? Visitor posts. So we have the agent-owned page set so that anyone can publish to the page. Anyone can add photos, and we have moderation turned on. So what that means, and this is the settings that if you have a page, this is what you should have. Think of it this way. You want your floodgates wide open because the second you start saying, no, you can't do this or no, you can't do this, it limits the accessibility that people have to you, okay? So we have it set so that if I see something great and I want to share it to the page, I can. Now we can always go and remove it, okay? And you'll get information in your, up here in your notifications. I just lost my mouse. That tells you what people have done on your page, right? So you can see throughout the day what people have done on your page or throughout the week. And you can go back and remove anything that you're not comfortable with if it ever came to that. But we're all grown-ups, Messages, you can set it so that people can send you a private message. I highly recommend you have that turned on because if someone is interested in contacting you to be their realtor, you don't want them to have to put their contact information on your page. I would not do that. I wouldn't want my stuff out there. I want to be able to private message you. Other people can add photos. People can add other pages to my page, and people that run other pages. That's really important to have turned on. You want to have people be able to say, hey, I have this business and I really like, they do the little @ sign, and then they do agent-owned realty, and it tags our page. That's great for a couple of reasons. One, it shows up in our newsfeed. Two, shows up in their newsfeed with a link to ours. So now people are going to say, oh, I can click on this and come over here and check them out. Let's see who they are. This is how you end up with 6 people that have gone that you've never heard of in Nebraska. Somebody finds you. That's how that happens, okay? You can talk about age restrictions, country restrictions. Quite honestly, age restrictions maybe 18, but realistically, 15-year-olds aren't looking for realtors online, so I think you're probably pretty safe.
What's the country restriction?
You can decide if you want specific country, people that have an IP address in a specific country to not be accessible. But if you're working on relocation, you never know. It could be Bali that your person comes from. Why would you want to shut that down? Again, everything open, everything on. It sounds counterintuitive because you always hear internet safety, turn everything off, but your goal is to you're not putting out personal information, right? You're not talking about where you live. That's when you talk about the settings where you want to have everything shut down. You have kids on your site. You want to have everything shut down. You're looking at building your sphere. You're looking at building your people base. So you want that to be able to reach everybody.
Could you click your country thing for me, please? So
Can I click my country thing? Yes.
Do I have it? Yeah, that's what I have. Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Similar page suggestions. You can choose whether your page is recommended to others. That's great. If you want to be able to have people say, I like this, you might like this too, what it does is it collates people that have liked you people that they are friends with that haven't liked you, it takes, let's say you have 20 people that have liked your page, okay? And 5 of them also like cats and lizards. It takes those people because they have all of these similar interests in common, and it says, you might also like agent-owned realty because you're friends with someone who has similar interests and they've liked this page. We've all gotten them in our news feed, right? That's how they do it. You want to allow that because that's, again, a way that people are going to get your information. And if you ever decide you are going to Bali and never returning, this is where you remove your page. But let me know and take me with you. So your basic settings, again, open it up. When you are on a personal page, we're going to go over there in a second, I'm going to do the same thing. It's just their settings are a little bit different because it's not a business, it's a person in their eyes, in Facebook's eyes, even though you're creating a personal business, okay? Where am I looking here? One of the things that you can see is insights. This is something, wrong button. This is something that business page has that personal does not. So if you are looking for statistical data about how your Facebook page is being viewed, how many views you're getting, how many likes you're getting, if you want that data, a business page is the way to go. You do not have that option on a personal page, okay? I personally believe that they're going to change that and allow and enable this on a personal page because it's being talked about a little bit out there, but I don't know that for sure, and I don't know it could be 20 years from now. What do I know? But for now, this is where you can see things like page views. It gives you graphs. There's tons of information in here. How many people have liked your page, whether it's gone up or it's gone down from your last month. One of the things that I really like about this is your 5 most recent posts show up, and it tells you about them. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this stuff. The biggest one that you can see right now is our listing lottery drawing. Everybody loves watching Mama Liz pick the numbers. Everybody wants to know. That one has reached the most, right? One of the most reached one was on January 19th, and it has since, we're going to go find it here, because it was really interesting to me. Facebook Live is a great tool for you guys, and if you're not using it, you are missing out on a great way to touch people. When you look at these statistics, live, video, right? Everything that has a huge reach and a huge contact ability is a video. Now, I don't want to have my face. Okay, don't have your face. Film the ducks in the pond while you talk about the subdivision, you know? These are things that you can do to boost how people are getting to you. Pictures, every time, every post. Every time you go on Facebook, post a picture. Now, can you post any picture? We talk about this all the time. Have to post a picture that you take, right? Mm-hmm. Don't post somebody else's picture. Even if you found it on Facebook, I do not recommend, because you are a business, not a person. I do not recommend posting something, even if someone else on Facebook has posted it. If you didn't physically take the picture, or you have not paid someone for the rights to the picture, do not post the picture. You're asking for potential issues, okay? I don't want anybody to be charged money. Yeah?
After you click Insights, did you click something else?
Scroll down.
You just scroll down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. This is all on that main Insights page. And there's a ton of data here. And one of the handouts I'm going to give you has, and one of the links on the handout that I already gave you, has a page. It's a website that talks a lot about how to sort of discern each of these individual pieces of information. So if you're a statistics person, if you really want more information in this nuts and bolts, down and dirty stuff, go there and it will tell you exactly what everything means. I think there's one person in the room.
Can we just ask one question about the boost that you just said?
I'm going to go.
No, share.
Share?
So you just said don't share unless you took the video. So I take a video.
I said don't post. I didn't say don't share.
Don't post.
So if you are on Facebook, let's use our page. Here we go. Let's go back to our page. You really like this picture. Did you take that picture?
Oh, that's what you.
Did you make that picture?
No.
Then don't use that picture. You do not want to right-click, save image as, and then go to your Facebook page and post that picture. It's not yours, okay? Now, come down here, and we've got a post. Published updated our business hours. Great. And you can share that.
Okay.
Sure. Now that picture is going to end up on your newsfeed, but you're not posting it, you're sharing someone else's post. They still have the ultimate attribution. Okay? It's a little bit confusing, but basically, share yes, post no.
Okay, gotcha.
When you
Okay?
hit that share button, what happens?
Share it.
Just pops up on your
And it
regular
pops up
page?
and it says,
All right, your business page.
do you want to say something? It depends on how you're logged in.
Okay.
So if you have a business page, you can choose to post it as a page that you moderate, or you can post it on your personal page that you log in with to get to your business page. Okay, you can choose where it goes. But again, if we're talking about using this primarily for business, because that's what we're talking about here is not personal business, yes, you want to post it to your business page.
Can you log into your business page without going into your personal profile?
Not if you've created as a business page under your personal
Right,
profile,
okay.
which is how you should do it. You should
Okay.
not create a new business entity on Facebook. You should log in as your Facebook user, and then we're going to let's go over to personal for a little
Can I ask you a
while.
question about what you just said a minute ago?
Yeah.
On the videos, the live videos, and it says they reach, so many people viewed it and then it reaches so many more people?
Yes.
What's the difference? What does it mean?
Okay. So the difference between views and reaches, and this is in one of the handouts I'm going to give you also. When someone views it, it means it has showed up in their newsfeed, so they've liked you or they've friended you, and it has started playing. Now, the default setting for videos in Facebook is it automatically starts playing. So as you're scrolling through your newsfeed, it automatically starts. That's a view. You can get more information in here, and I'm going to go find this. So you can get more information in here on specifically what was viewed, how long people stayed on it. Let's go to, I'm of course never going to be able to find it now because that's what I really, really want, and that's how life works, right? 10 minutes ago I had it up, but that's okay. 119, here we go. All right, let's take a look at this. This is one of our agents out at IOP office. He did a Facebook Live video out in front of the IOP office talking about their hours, where they're located, how to find them, services they offer. He was just kind of out there chit-chatting about where he was in the business, okay? It ended up with 1.6 million, almost 1.6 million organic views. Now, organic, I'm sorry, 1,600.
Close to
Sorry.
Okay.
KM, whatever. Again, this is why I don't do numbers. See? Million. Yeah. This is why we can never trust me with numbers, okay?
Got your back.
Okay. So 1,600 organic views. That's still a lot of organic views, okay? What does organic mean? Organic means he didn't pay for it. 1,600 people, it either showed up in their newsfeed or they shared it and it showed up in that person's newsfeed. Okay? So 1,600 naturally occurring just by the way that people share information happen. That's a lot of reach. I mean, and he's a young guy and he's just starting out. He hasn't been in the business for 50 years, you know? That's a lot of reach. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can see more information on
Excuse me,
this.
that was reached or viewed?
Viewed. Viewed and reached are basically the same thing.
Well, why does it have two different numbers?
Because
And
if somebody,
I'm curious about
yeah,
this because
if somebody views it twice, your views go up, but your reach is the same. So reach is number of people, but views is times watched.
Okay, well, the number of people is almost always greater than the views.
Because it doesn't necessarily get watched every time it shows up in a news feed.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Okay? So when you are in here, you can click on your post. You can get a ton more information about this. So I was checking out this one earlier because I wanted to see how did he get so many from just standing in front of the office, holding his phone in front of him. I mean, he spent no money, wore the same clothes he did that day, he didn't do anything other than stand there with a phone he already has, right? This is zero input for him to get 1,600 people to see him. You can see all of these things. So minutes viewed, 287 minutes viewed. But then you click on it and you can see how it went. So pages owned. These are people that are actually friends with him or that have liked him, okay? 52 of them. Shared, 235. 82% of his views came from people who he's not even friends with that watched his video. Think about that. 82%, he didn't even know him. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to me.
And this is from the Agent Owned page.
This is from the Agent Owned page.
It's not his page, it's Agent Owned.
We shared it on the Agent Owned page. So this is his views on the Agent Owned page. Yep. This talks about things like sound on, sound off. That's all about how that person has their Facebook settings. You can't control that. It's usually most or sound off because people don't want every video that shows up startling them. But again, what you can see here is your views. This is another, it's just more statistics of how many shared it, how many were organic friends of the page, right? 10-second views. You can decide if you want to see different things in this pull down here. 10-second views means people who viewed it briefly, right? They didn't watch the whole thing. They didn't stay on it and watch all of it, but they still had in their head, this guy was out there talking, right? You don't necessarily have to watch the whole thing. Most people won't. That's why you don't want to have a half-hour video. You really don't, unless you're doing a class or something like that. Average video watch time was 14 seconds. That's pretty normal. Unless there's something really exciting, say you're going to give something away at the end. You have to watch till the end, and I'll say a magic word at the end, and if you comment with the magic word, you're entered in the giveaway. That's a good way to get people to watch to the end of the video, or scroll their bar to the end of the video, but you can't control that.
What would you say is a maximum amount of time you want to have a video?
It really depends on what you're talking about.
Okay, if you're shooting a real estate thing in what we're talking about,
30 seconds.
I was gonna say
Maximum.
30 seconds.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's going to watch you stand in front of
Right.
something and talk for 20 minutes. So,
the pineapple.
right. You know, it's you want to stand there and say, hey, this is who I am. This is how you get in touch with me right off the bat. So if they only watch for 14 seconds, they got your name and your number. Okay? Then tell them what you want to tell them, and then remind them of who you are and how to get in touch with you. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point. Okay? So, again, we're not doing Facebook video class, but there's some great information in here on your page. This is stuff, again, that you are only able to get as far as statistics go when you have a business page. Okay? Yeah.
Since we're not on MLS, we can stand in front of our sign that has that information on it, right?
Mhm.
So that they could see that all the time while we're
Highly
talking.
recommend it. And then I would walk around that neighborhood, wherever your house is for sale, whatever house you have listed, I would walk around that neighborhood. I would take a picture of the pool and the clubhouse and the entrance sign to the neighborhood and anything cool going on. Then I would make sure you're not getting kids or license plates or anything like that. But yeah, make a post about where your house is for sale. Do a series of posts on where your house is for sale. Share the listing from MLS, and then each day do a little bit. I mean, you're talking about 4 sentences. You know, this isn't writing a book on the listing. That's a great way to engage people every day, let them know to come back for more. They'll seek you out, and the more they're engaged, they'll share, they'll tell other people about this, they'll share and tell other people, and now your base is growing. So, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so business page. Kind of makes sense? Basically, if you have more than one person getting on it, yes. If you really love statistics and you want this dug down nitty gritty stuff, this is the way to go. If you just want simple, easy, this is marketing, right? This is for marketing, but you don't want to spend all day long on it, right? Then you're going to look at, I need to sign out of this, so it'll let me sign into the other one. Then you want to look at your personal page, and this is where you've got a basic, it's basically the same thing, just an easier version, a shortened version, okay? You've got where you post. You don't have the same big informational things on the left-hand side here, okay? What you can do is you can go into settings.
So this is in addition to the personal page, the business page, this is the sub-personal page. So that's 3 things we got to keep up.
No, I said pick one. You either want a business page or you want to have a simplified version of the business page, which is the same as everybody's Facebook page now, but for business. Okay? If you want to use the page that you already have where your grandkids are and you don't care about that, go nuts. I would check with your sons and daughters before you put your grandkids out there for business purposes, but that's just me. But you're picking one. You do not have 2. Do not have 3. Do not have 4. Have 1. Pick one. Okay? You can have your personal stuff. Pick one business thing to do, whether you want a business page with all your statistics or you want a simpler version, which is what we're going to look at now.
Quick Facebook question. Does your personal page roll over to your business page,
No.
or do you have to do that consciously?
Business, and if you have a business page created under your personal profile page, it does not share information back and forth. Okay?
And Greg can't, the Charleston by Day Facebook page is under my profile. So he can't borrow it at all.
You can make him an administrator. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that.
Okay, so let's go into settings and talk about this. We talked about how you want everything wide open, right? Same thing here, which is why you may not want to use your original personal page, right, with your grandkids or kids or whatever. You want to make sure that you have, let's see, you don't need to worry about login alerts or login approvals unless you're really paranoid about where you go when you log into stuff, but it's going to be you. This is only you using it, so you don't have a team of 10 people logging in all the time. Most of these things are default set the way they should be set. Trusted contacts, you can go in and you can edit who's able to get in if you want to revoke someone's privileges. Recognized devices, you can set it so that it always recognizes specific devices. But at the end of the day, you don't need to do any of this. This is our simple version, right? So in simple land, we're going to say what Facebook's original settings are pretty good. Okay? You don't need to worry about extra people being able to log in or anything like that. What you want to do is you want to go into privacy. And here's how we talk about who can see my stuff. Who can see your future posts? Everybody on the planet Earth. That's what the setting is that you want, okay? Public. Review all your posts that you're tagged in. You don't need to review them unless you have someone that you do not want posting to your page, in which case I would block that person and not go through the hassle of reviewing every time someone posts on your page. What that's going to do is anytime someone shares something to your page, it's going to send you an email. It's going to say, hey, can you approve this? It's really old really fast if you have a busy page, which is the goal here, right? To have a busy page. Who can send you friend requests? Everybody on Earth. You don't ever want to limit your sphere, okay? Who can look you up using the email address? So you're using your business email to set this up. If you haven't used your business email to set it up, I would change the email associated with your page so that it is not only if I know your personal email, it's if I go on Agent Owned's website and I find jan.smith at Agent Owned Realty, I can look up their Facebook page by that and they can find you, okay? Part of what you're doing is you're providing information about you and you're selling yourself to people out there. So you want them to be able to find you and learn about you. Who can look you up using the phone number? Again, cell phone, business phone, whatever you use for your business phone, everyone. Do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? Well, yeah. You want people to be able to type in Greg Day, Charleston, New Hampshire Realtor and find your Facebook page. Of course, right? You want people to find you. So making sure that all these settings are open is really important. It's also really important to be able to have people share your things. So in here, some of the things that you want to make sure that people who can post on your timeline. Your choices here are friends or only me, so clearly you want friends. Do you want to review posts that friends that tag you? So if you're out with friends and they tag you and they tag your business you, right? This isn't your personal, right? This is your business you. Do you want that to go on your page? It's up to you. I wouldn't think it's a big deal. Depends on what you do with your weekends, I guess, but I think that you're probably safe. Yeah.
Question.
So you're asking if when you set up their page, if your email and your phone are automatically mapped in?
To privacy settings, yes, or do I need to go in there and set that?
No. You don't need to go in and do anything.
Okay.
When it says allow someone to look me up by my email, it's the email that you set up the account with.
Okay.
So definitely use whatever email is on your business cards is a good rule of thumb, okay?
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Managing tags and posts, again, open everything up. The more the merrier. You want people to engage. You want people to share. You want people to talk about you. When we look at notifications, there's a really important one in here. You want to make sure that, hold on Facebook, here's where I'm looking for. You want to make sure that you have some sort of alert set up so that when you're on Facebook, you get and I have it set up so that I get audio and visual notification. Your notifications show up here, right, and it tells you what people are doing. You want this turned on so that if you're on Facebook and someone's engaging with you, you can respond right then. You're there for them. You're immediate. If you're not on, you're not on, right? You get your notifications later. But if you happen to be on and you can get the notification that they just posted something or commented on your post, and you can get right back to them and like it or comment or something and engage them, that's a great way to make a connection with that person. And that's what we're trying to do, right? That's the whole point of this, is to make those connections. So I would definitely make sure that you have that on. And then, let's see, public posts. Who can comment on your public posts? Everybody. Who can follow me? Everybody. Again, everything is on. Comment ranking. You do not care about whether or not this comment got 75 likes and this comment got 13 likes, right? You're engaging individuals. You're not looking to build a football team that everybody likes, right? So I have it turned off. I don't think it's worthwhile in this industry. You may love it, and that's okay. Let's talk about Twitter for 2 seconds. If you have a Twitter account, this is where you link to it. You go in here to edit. You put in your profile. This line will be blank. You type in what your handle, your @ whatever your name is at Twitter. And from now on, anything that you post on Facebook automatically goes to Twitter. You don't have to do it twice. So if you're a Twitter user, this is a great shortcut. These are the big things. A couple things I want to go over for the business page that we didn't really touch on because we're talking about the very beginnings here, is boosting a post versus promoting a post. This is where you pay for exposure. They do the same thing in a little bit different ways. The bottom line is you have a post, okay? And you want it to go out to more people, maybe people that haven't liked your page, so it's not going to show up in their news feed. People that wouldn't normally get yours organically, right? We talked about organically is when somebody that you know or like, or somebody has shared it on their page and they know you by degrees of separation. This is non-organic. This is paid for. So we all, when we're on Facebook, we have those ads show up in our feed. Sometimes they're for a local business, and you think, well, how did you know I was looking for a chiropractor across the street, right? Well, it's because at some point in your life you Googled chiropractor, you've put your address in somewhere at some point, and Google takes all of this stuff and they share with Facebook. And they know from your email and your phone number, your location. And so they tailor these posts, these ads to your location. The difference between a boost and a promote is the boost is basically, I want this to just kind of go out. I want $20 worth of exposure. Blah. The promote, you can narrow it down a little bit. You can say, I want it within this area code, within this zip code, people that are interested in this, people that have cats, people that like trains. You can narrow it down, maybe not that specifically, but you can narrow it down a little bit more. So your money is a little more targeted. So if you are doing a business page and if you are going to pay to get your posts out there, I think you get more return on your investment for a promote than a boost. And I would not do it a lot. I wouldn't boost or promote every time you post. Don't do it every time you post a listing, because people are going to get sick of the same thing over and over, and then they click hide all post from, and then you never see them again. Do it once in a while for something really good. If you're going to do a giveaway or a promotion, or you have an open house where there's a big jackpot prize at the end of it or something like that, those are the ones. Those are the ones that you want out there, okay? Anybody have any questions right now? All right, I'm just going to review a couple things. Make sure when you pick your name, you stick with it, okay? Make sure your settings are wide open. You want as many people on earth to find you as possible. When you write a post, when you talk in a video, talk in your own voice. You don't have to be, you're not writing an English paper, right? This is just you chatting with a friend, that's all. Because ultimately, if they like you, personally you, they're going to use you as a realtor. That's part of what the decision is made on. And everybody's a little bit different. So everybody's going to have a different demographic that they're looking for, right? Always pictures and videos. People look at posts with pictures and videos a bazillion times more. I know that's not the real percentage, but it's a lot. And you know from using it, right? You scroll past words, 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 especially if it's a big chunk of words, words, words. But when there's a picture, you stop and you look at what it is.
Or a dog.
Or, yeah, I mean, it could be your cat, you know, and then you talk about something that has to do with nothing with your cat, but your cat caught them, it caught their eye. And we talked about getting Facebook to Twitter. So that is my little song and dance.